Hey there. Please have a seat. I know you don't like to take instruction. You're very obstinate to that sort of thing, but please have a seat. This is a conversation that we've been having to have, right, sweetie? Right, absolutely. So, yeah, I know this relationship it's been very difficult at times. Harder for some than others, particularly me. But I would say that overall, it's been very, very successful, right? And we had goals, we had dreams, and we've pursued them and we've gotten them, right? So I think it's time for us to call it here. Yeah. Yeah, we're just going to have breakup. Yes. Yeah, well, part of our contract, do you remember the contract that we signed when we got into this agreement? Yes. So the contract that we signed said that it was for 2 years, right? And it's been over 2 years. And we've had a lot of fun and we've made a lot of friends. But I think it's time. I think we're both famous enough that we're able to survive on our own now. Yeah. Okay. Well, listen. I have had to deal with you for how many years now? I think that I deserve to call it quits here because I don't think I can make another lovey-dovey TikTok with you without strangling you. So let's just go ahead and talk about our breakup, right? How are we going to announce it to our followers, right? Because I think that's really the most important part is that we created a space for people to latch on to us as a couple and idealize us as a couple, as the perfect couple to ever exist on the planet. As you and I both know, it's completely fake, but we do have to announce it to them because, they really deserve it. And besides, we want to let them know that we're breaking up, but it's very amicable and we're still like the best of friends, even though, we are going to shit talk each other the entire time. And we are, of course, never going to see each other again, except for you know what? Let's discuss it. So I did write down everything for you because I know you have a little bit of a hard time following sort of simple instructions. So I did write it down for you. So I am going to give you a copy of this. You did have it. You did sign this. Yes, this right here. You did sign it. But I know it's been more than 2 years. I would imagine that you have completely forgotten at this point, because you're very, in your own head. So, and everybody has their strengths. I'm just the incredibly smart, emotionally mature one, and you are the other one. So let's just talk about the basics, right? So we had a contract for 2 years, and those 2 years are up. It's been a bit more than 2 years, but I didn't want to initiate sort of this breakup, conversation and planning the video for our followers without, because I know you were in Bali for a little bit and then I had that work trip in Ibiza, and it was just really, really hard. It was hard for us to be together in the same room, right? And then we got into that really awful fight. Yeah, you had the last bit of ice cream in the fridge, right? And I told you that I wanted that ice cream, right? Now, of course, we had other pints of ice cream, and they were all the same flavor, and I could have had one of those other pints of ice cream. But it's the principle, right? That was my container of ice cream, and you had it. So I just felt very disrespected, and anyway, it was hard to be in the same room. So because of the 2 years are up and we're doing this, I wanted to let you know that these 2 years have been wonderful. I mean, yes, we created inspirational, couple videos where people can look at us as a couple and project their desires onto us in a way that is particularly unhealthy, and makes them feel like they know us and makes them feel like, they are a part of the relationship, even though our relationship is completely fabricated. Not completely fabricated. We were together, but it's mainly transactional, as you well know. And it's that, I would say that the spark sort of left a few hours into our relationship, I would say. Don't you agree? Yes, absolutely. So And just because we hate each other doesn't mean that it's not, our videos about love weren't, real to someone, of course it was successful. And yes, I think it was the best 2 years, mainly because we made millions of dollars. And it was, it propelled our careers in a direction in which, we're able to now influence millions and millions of people. But it's not about that, right? It's about the emotional manipulation that we perform on our followers, right? So with that, I think that we are both in a solid position to make a clean break, let our followers sort of come to both of us, and we're able to sort of survive. Okay, so let's talk about the assets first, right? Because that'll be the easiest to discuss. Now, per our contract, we accounted for a few things, but we did make a lot more money than we anticipated. So there are some assets that are not covered here under the contract. So one of those things, of course, is our many, many mansions. Now, we did, of course, make that video of us buying our new house, furnishing our new house, decorating our new house, fighting about our new house and making up about our new house. All of that there is a playlist for that, by the way. Did you make sure to label it correctly? You never label things correctly. Okay. So people know about the one mansion, but we do have a few others, right? We have one in Oregon, one in Florida, Miami, of course. And then we also have one in Texas and one in New York. Now, the mansion in New York is, of course, the Hamptons. And I think of these 4 mansions, we should split them up equally, right? 2 mansions for me, 2 mansions for you. And I think that is perfectly fine, right? So of course, I'll take the Oregon and the New York one, and you'll take Texas and Florida, and that should be totally fine. Yeah? No, I think that the Hamptons one should be mine. I think it's honestly pretty impressive for someone like me to have a mansion in the Hamptons. So I think that for social justice, I should have the house in the Hamptons, and you should, in fact, not have a house in the Hamptons, because there's already enough people like you there. So that'll be that. Now, I am willing to part with the masseuse. Right? We hired the masseuse, and I think that the masseuse is really wonderful. But I know about what's been happening between you and the masseuse, so I'll put it out there. I think that I would rather die than get touched by the masseuse again. So I think the masseuse should go with you. But I will take the personal trainer, right? Now, we did have our whole journey, right? Our sort of body modification journey that we had on our channel. Like, we did it together. And it was very inspirational for a lot of people. But the personal trainer, of course, featured in those videos and really loves to collab. And I think they particularly enjoyed collabing with me more than they did you. So I think that it's a better professional relationship if I go with the personal trainer and you sort of keep your hands off of them. For the chef, I'm willing to do a sort of split custody sort of situation. As you know, I have to have my 3 breakfasts, the 3 options for breakfast fully prepared and presented to me so that I can choose the one that I'm most feeling like having. And I know that you end up taking the scraps, right? So if that is the case, I am willing to see you once a day just so that we can have that sort of chef make our breakfast at the very least. Okay. Yeah, okay, great. Wonderful. You're being very, very good about this. I expected more pushback, but I'll be honest, I don't know if you're all there to figure that out. Okay, so next, I would say we have the holiday party, our famous holiday party. And then, of course, we have Fire Island, right? So you can take Fire Island. Now, I know we don't own Fire Island as the island, right? But it would be a bit gauche for the two of us to be in the same place at the same time. It's caused a lot of drama, unnecessary drama rather, not drama that we would want, right? So I would say you can take Fire Island. It's kind of more your vibe than mine, and I'll take the holiday party, right? And that does mean that I will inherit your family, right? Your parents, yeah, they'll come with me for the holiday parties and stuff. But don't worry, you'll get all of, you'll get everybody else, right? You'll get all the friends, you'll get all the, um, uh, yeah, you understand. Okay, well, those are the main assets that I wanted to talk to you about. In terms of the channel, right? The YouTube channel, where it all started, we do have over like 150 million subscribers. So, I know that in the contract it says that we were to split that evenly. But I think that post breakup, we have to decide who gets to keep it, right? Who gets to rebrand it as their own personal channel and who has to jump ship and go to a different channel, right? Because inevitably, the numbers are going to be lower for the person that leaves, right? So, I am working out a potential deal where if whoever gets the channel has to give up the sponsors that are on the channel and has to give them to the new channel, right? So if I were to get the 150 million subscriber one, I would then give up our Ulta Beauty sponsorship and I would give that to you, right? Now, of course, Ulta Beauty might not want to work with you and might come back to me, but that offer will stand, right? And so I think that is going to be a very, very good and lucrative, incredibly lucrative opportunity for us, right? So but before all of that, we are going to have to, of course, make a breakup video, right? We're going to have to tell our subscribers everything and make sure that, well, not everything, right? We're going to tell them that this is an amicable breakup. We've tried everything that we can. And do you still have the fake tears? Yeah, make sure to have that handy because we're going to have to do that on the video. We're going to have to cry a little bit. We're going to have to do the breakup video, and if you can just get in contact with my assistant, we will be able to figure out a time that works best for both of us. Yeah, is there anything in particular that you wanted in the breakup video? You want to say how much you love our audience. No, I don't think that's really necessary for you to say that because I think you might have them develop more of a connection with them, and I can't have that because they need to have a connection with me because I want them to stay with me and not you, okay? So I'm going to axe that idea, right? I'm not even going to write it down. Okay, so now, of course, in terms of the subscribers, as we were saying, we're going to try to split them up, and we can only try our best, but I think that we need to discuss who our audiences are and who we should target to take, right? So in terms of our audience, most of our audience ends up being the girlies, the gays, the theys, and of course the straggots. So I think that you can take the gays and the straggots. I will take the girlies and the theys, okay? And of course, because I'm taking the girlies and the theys, my content is going to be just generally better than yours. And, inevitably the gays will come back to me because they're going to see that the content that you're making is going to be a much more low effort because, let's be honest, I tend to do a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of our content. Don't look at me like that. You know how hard it is for you to follow instruction. Do you remember the director that had to yell at you to get in line because you would not stop laughing during a shoot? Yes, I understand that you were joking around, and I understand that you were building a connection with someone else so that, you could then, make more money off of them. But that doesn't matter because we were working on something and you weren't being serious. So anyway, yes, I understand the person you were discussing, you were like having a laugh with was really popular in the YouTube space and that they could have helped us out. And indeed they did help us out. But I'm saying that you're just not, your work ethic is kind of low. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, with that out of the way, we should just touch upon, the market, right? So in terms of content, I think we need to, assign roles to our, what kind of markets are we, what kind of content are we putting out for people, right? So Of course, dance videos, I think that should go to you, right? Because I think dance videos tend to read as very, um, they tend to only work for people that are particularly attractive or potentially just like conventionally attractive. And so, I think that that will work better for you. Not that you're conventionally attractive per se, but just that like it will come off as a little sad, right? And so people will pity follow you. And I think that that is probably going to be better. In terms of mental health, I could say that I'll take that. I think mental health is incredibly important, and I want to come off as a really good person. So I'm going to make sure that that I'll make a few videos a year at the very least with mental health. And of course, I will be sponsored by BetterHelp, right? Listen, I understand that BetterHelp is not a wonderful service, and in fact, they're probably a really terrible service to get any form of mental help from. But it's the thought that counts, right? I want people to know or understand that I want to be good with mental health and want I want that the clout from that. So in terms of trends, I would say you can take trends if you'd like. I'll fight you on it a little bit, but you can take a few trends, right? Like any of the because let's be honest, you're not going to follow up on the trends, right? So I'll end up doing them anyway, and then you are just going to fall off. So you'll take that. I'll take fashion, because I do think that fashion is one of those things that you need a bit of an eye for. And our subscribers, they do think I'm the more fashionable one. So I do think that that is something that I will be able to accomplish. And in terms of comedy, right, if you want to do any sort of skits, any form of like written jokes or anything, I would say that you are allowed to take that, because I know you think you're funny. Okay, so... And with that, we'll arrive at the drama. Okay, so we are, of course, going to post the breakup video. That's going to go out next week at the very latest, because let's be honest, I can't live with you another second. But just because we're going to post it next week doesn't mean that our interactions are going to be over, right? Because leading up to that week, we're going to have to post cryptic tweets or cryptic blue sky posts. We're going to have to vague post about each other, right? Just subtle stuff to make sure that people are engaged, so that people understand. Think of the posts as a little trailers for the video to come, right? You want there to be a little bit of a buzz within the online world about what's going on between us, right? Before we actually come out. We are going to actually have to delete all of our videos. So all of the people that relied on like the joy and the fake joy and the absolutely lovely content that we made together that made people happy, we're going to delete all of that to make sure that they sort of feel a sense of emptiness, right? So we're going to remove that, and we're going to make a follow-up video. So that follow-up video is going to be at least 2 weeks from now, okay? Listen, I know it's very difficult, and we don't like each other anymore, but come on, you can do this. So the follow-up video is going to have to be, something to the effect of like, hey, don't give hate to the other person. They're like a really great person, and we tried really hard to make it work. But you want to say just one thing that someone can extrapolate, right? So I think I should go the route of, oh, he was incredibly manipulative, right? So I'm going to say that you're really manipulative. You should say that I am, I'm incredibly sophisticated. I think that's a very, very, very good thing for you to say. How is that bad? No. See, people don't like sophisticated people. So really, it's just as bad as you being manipulative towards me. Okay, and then from there, of course, it's going to blow up, as we know it's going to happen. So we'll both collab separately with drama channels, just to make sure to really get that out there. Just pick your favorite drama channel, and I'm sure they'll contact you. So just make sure to reply to them, get an interview with them of some kind, and we need to make sure that our stories are not straight, right? That way we have a very clear split, and that our subscribers are able to split off and are able to have a take sides, right? Because we want to make sure that we convert our couple subscribers into single subscribers that are more fanatic towards us, right? And of course, after that, 1 year later, we're going to have to get on, the cut or Jubilee or something. And we're going to have to make a 1 year later video where we sort of sit down together as if we've never seen each other for the 1 year and just talk about things in a very real way, right? And of course, that does mean that we're going to have to talk about things in a very not real way and just discuss, some issues that we had, right? Or but we're going to be very, very specific about not discussing the breakup itself, but just discussing like very minor things, right? Just to see like the awkwardness that's between us, okay? And with that, that is going to be our plan. Did you have any questions for me about that? Yes, I know I'm being very clinical about this, but listen, I've been with you for a very long time, and I understand that if I'm not clinical, then you kind of don't listen to me. So I do think that this is going to be the way that it's going to go. Uh-huh. So yeah, I'm going to take the mansions, of course, the Hamptons and the Oregon one. What? You don't want Fire Island anymore? No, I think you should take Fire Island because that's where all the gays are, and that's going to be where your subscribers are. Yeah, no. It's totally going to be fine. Okay. Oh, listen, this was bound to happen. You don't have to feel sad about like an end of an era. I mean, we signed that contract for a reason, and we put up this really brilliant facade because we felt like people wanted joy in life, and we wanted to provide it to them, right? Right, of course. And, just make sure to remember that you need to be as authentic as possible. But you need to not be yourself. Okay? Okay then. Well, I will see you at the breakup video. That's obviously going to be, at some time in the next few days because, if it's going to go out next week, then we have to do it at least a few days because our editor needs to take a look at it and then our director needs to make the final cut. So we're going to go ahead and get that set up, okay? Okay then. Well, until then.